Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Muhamad Jawdat Akoum, and I'm here to share my career journey with you. Whether you're a newcomer in software development or someone starting fresh in a new field, I hope that my story inspires you. First off, I'd like to thank Nermeen for this opportunity. Connecting with professionals who have made significant progress in their careers is an amazing initiative, especially for those in the Middle East and Dubai. I have two major passions, software development and music production. While music has always been a deep part of me, I realized that making a living from it is a high risk, high reward scenario. So I focus on software development while keeping my artistic vision alive. The curse of creativity refers to the challenge of bringing unique and innovative ideas to life while making them financially sustainable. True originality is often hard to monetize, difficult to categorize, and doesn't always fit into conventional markets. This makes it high risk, high reward pursuit. If it succeeds, it can be groundbreaking. If it doesn't, it can feel isolating and unsustainable. That's why, and definitely it's a long journey. That's why having a stable income is essential. It provides the freedom to pursue creative ambitions without the pressure to conform. Financial security allows you to take risks, experiment, and push boundaries while staying true to your vision. For me, I'm fortunate because I love both fields equally, blending my technical expertise with my artistic passions. My passion for technology started at a very young age. One of my earliest memories was working with a DOS-based computer. That was the first computer that I ever had. Long before Windows. I was around 7 or 12 years old, I don't remember exactly. But my uncle had written down a list of commands for me to run a game from a floppy disk. And that game was Dave, if you're aware about it. It's kind of like the Super Mario of DOS PCs. So instead of following the instructions, I found a way to simplify the process, essentially refactoring it. That's when I realized my natural inclination for problem solving. Even with music, I was always experimenting, like putting PlayStation 1 game CDs into the stereo just to hear the soundtrack. So yeah, actually this is true. The stereos recognize the PlayStation 1 CDs as audio CDs, and you'll be able to play the soundtrack of it right away. Um, so fast forward to my professional journey in software development. I officially started in around 2016 with Mojo Tribe, a Lebanese company working on cross-platform applications. At the time, I was using Obsurator Titanium, a lesser-known cross-platform technology, which meant I had to figure out things without much support. Um, and From there, I had to learn fast without prior internship experience. I self-taught everything from JavaScript to Git. In fact, I didn't even know what Git was when I first started. We used to copy and paste project files between team members, but once I discovered Git, I introduced it to the team and we streamlined our workflow. Eventually, my journey led to Dubai, where I joined Merchant full time as a senior iOS and Flutter developer. Working on the Carrefour app, which serves millions of users across 11 countries, was a turning point in my career. Um, I was a big part of the migration from UI kit to SwiftUI, and then later on moving from SwiftUI to Flutter. Also, we modularized key features into independent Cocoa pods, and even I won the Spark of the Month award for implementing the zero defect OTP system, where we refactored the whole authentication system, and we have implemented the OTP login. I remember I was a single iOS developer, but then in the team there was also two Android developers, and throughout solutions that I have came up with, I was able to perform um, equal to two developers by myself, and I'll be explaining why and how. Um, so basically, one of my biggest strengths is my ability to think differently. I always challenge processes, seek better efficiencies, and analyze projects from an objective point of view. I believe that as a developer, you shouldn't just write code, you should understand the bigger picture and ensure that the project requirements are solid before development starts. This prevents unnecessary works and delays because some of the developers, when there is an issue with the business requirements, they put the blame on the product owner. But I believe that in order uh, for the product owner to write business requirements that are solid and all it include everything, they need help from the developers because they have access to the code, so they can see all the switch statements and all the scenarios and the error scenarios they are handling, and this can help the product owner in understanding the current feature from from a deeper level, especially if he came recently, let's say, and this code is so old, it was there before he started. But even though you are a new developer, you still have access to the entire code, so you can still help. Uh, so one of my contributions at Carrefour was developing a data manager system for MVVM architecture, which is basically the thing that gave me the ability to perform 200%. It allowed us to test features independently without waiting for the backend implementation, reducing backend bottlenecks essentially. So basically, in short, you, you know the MVVM. We have the view, and then we have the view model. But then the idea of the data manager is to have a little further separation of concerns. But instead of having the view model functions and logic that works in the UI and controls and manages the UI, I don't think that it also should have functions that actually do API calls, because API calls does not have to do with the UI, especially when we have more data sources like SDKs uh, or any other thing really. So basically, the data manager is an abstract or a protocol if you are a software developer, and basically it it outlines the all of the functions that will use data, right? So in one place you can see the view model of the screen, what's all the data needs that it requires, and then you have two implementations of this abstract class slash protocol, and this can be the production implementation and the dummy implementation. And this is great because it gives you the ability to have a dummy implementation where you can provide all of the data in any way that you want to the view model, essentially giving you the ability to implement the whole feature and test every rare scenario without even waiting for the backend to be done. Essentially, you can finish the feature A to Z, and then you can even demo it to the product owners and all, and still even though the backend is not implemented yet. And then later on, you can, once the backend is there, you can inject it. Yeah, and so this can help you write a more stable code because you can test all the scenarios that are difficult to make. And yeah, so and then afterwards, after working with Carrefour, I've decided I mean, usually 3 years is kind of like the perfect timing to move to a different job as a software developer so that you can learn more stuff. But Carrefour was already rich in opportunities and the new things that I was always learning. So basically, it's like in Carrefour, it was in general in total about 7 years, but it was like every 3 years as if I worked in a different company because new developers, different team, and new challenges, and even new programming languages because we started with iOS development and then we had to learn Flutter and then so lots of stuff. But now I think is the best time to move on and also start to find additional challenges and new opportunities. And this is why currently I moved from Carrefour, and I'm working with a great friend of mine, Andrea Milara, and we have the agency called MXBO Studio. And currently, my responsibilities are way more than a software developer, as I'm managing the technical part of a software project for clients from A to Z, from writing the proposals, understanding the project, and converting those business requirements into actual technical plan that can be executed with a deadline and all the requirements for it. So, what's the takeaway? If you have a unique vision, don't give up. Find a way to sustain yourself financially while working towards it. Stay curious, question everything, never stop learning. Thank you for watching, and I hope this story helps inspire your journey. And if you'd like to connect, you can find me on LinkedIn or reach me out via email. Thank you so much.